Hey guys, welcome back. Houston Math Prep here. In this video, we're going to look at an introduction to linear inequalities. We're going to start with what is an inequality. So an inequality relates algebraic expression using symbols like the ones below instead of an equal sign, which would give us an equation. So an inequality takes two quantities, typically a variable quantity, and then either some number or expression, and it relates them using one of these four symbols. So if x is smaller than whatever this quantity on the right is, then we might use this symbol right here, which translates to is less than. If x can be any number smaller than that number or even that number itself, we would use this symbol, less than or equal to. If the opposite is true, if x is the larger quantity, so if x is all values larger than this number, we can say x is greater than this number. And if x is all numbers larger than that value, including that value itself, then we would say x is greater than or equal to. So when we talk about larger than or smaller than, we're thinking about in terms of a number line. So if we have a number line, and let's say we have 0 here, then we would have all of our positive numbers going to the right, and so on, and then we would have our negative numbers going to the left, and so on. So when we start to look at talking about being less than or talking about being greater than, anything to the left of a particular number is less than. Anything moving to the right of a particular value is going to be greater than. Okay, so let's look at some specific examples of inequality statements and work on graphing those on a number line. Okay, so here we've got two inequality statements, kind of exploring both types of inequality symbols. So here we have the statement x is less than 5. Now it can be difficult at first to remember which symbol is less than, which symbol is greater than. One thing that can help you remember, or kind of two ways, is the point of the symbol points to the smaller. Okay, so it's telling me that x is the smaller one, so when I read that statement, x is less than 5. The other way that you can remember it is if you think of this symbol here as kind of like a mouth, whether that's like an alligator mouth or any kind of mouth, the mouth eats the bigger one. So however you want to think about that to help you remember which one is less than, which one is greater than. Okay, so this one reads x is less than 5. So I'm going to go ahead and just pop 5 right in the middle of my number line. And I want to shade or graph all values that are less than 5. So I'm going to do that here with a highlighter. Less than 5 I know means smaller. So I'm going to highlight below 5 on my number line. And the other thing that we want to include in our graph is we want to include the idea of whether or not 5 is included in the values that we're looking at. Because we have a strictly less than and not a less than or equal to, 5 is not a value that we can have as part of our solution because 5 is not less than 5. So the way that we're going to indicate that is over the 5, we're going to put an open circle. So that open circle says we're able to get up to 5, but not include 5. All right, let's look at this next one. This one reads, let's see, if the point is pointing to -2, that means -2 is the smaller thing. So I would read this as x is greater than or equal to -2. Okay, so remember the point points to smaller. So x is greater than or equal to -2. So over on my number line, I'm going to pop -2 on there, and I'm going to go ahead and shade things that are greater than -2. Okay, so greater than we know means bigger, so I'm going to shade things that are to the right on the number line. And then I want to come back and I want to indicate that 2, or -2 in this case, is actually included because we have greater than or equal to. And -2 is equal to -2, so it is included in the solution. So for that, I'm going to include a solid or filled in dot over my -2 to say that -2 is included. All right, guys, that's our introduction for linear inequalities. We'll catch you in the next video.